Brought to you by didgeridoos and kangaroos, it's Dad's Got Time. Now, it's time to get into the Fallout season finale. This was absolutely insane. Anybody who has seen it will agree with me. Even if you haven't seen it, this right here will help you want to get into the show. It is a masterpiece. Season 2 was just given a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, certified fresh. Thank you. Now, most importantly, I want to talk about some of the big moments, look at some of the story, and just kind of recap everything that happened. Now, without further ado, just like Captain Morgan at the Battle of Gettysburg said, let's get into it. We begin the episode focusing on Vault Mommy, aka Stephanie Harper, aka my next ex wife. She is currently at an internment camp or escaping one with her mother in Canada. And as we also see, she is currently having PTSD non style flashbacks. And what we get next is her mom dropping what might be the hardest bar of the season. Check it out.
Don't think of them as human beings. Think of them as Americans.
And quickly after, old Mountie seems to 360 no-scope the Border Patrol. And as we see, we jump to Vault-Tec with Hank and Lucy lording over their very happy band of weird brain slaves. And Lucy decides she's had enough and wants to shut it down. So Hank decides to take her, in the golf cart, mind you, to go check it out. And then we immediately jump to the motley crew of Thaddeus, Maximus, and Anus Face, aka the Gooch, aka the Ghoul. And this is where the Ghoul finds out that Maximus actually is holding the thing of cold fusion. Continuing on, we find out that our Mountie Mommy is actually a maid at the Lucky 38. What a surprise there. And downstairs, we have Cooper talking to this congresswoman about how to get the cold fusion in the hands of the right person. At which point we find out the president of the United States is landing at McCarran Airport and he could actually give that to the president and solve all the problems, right? It's Fallout. No, because he has seemingly said, hey, you've got to sell it better because no one likes the good guys. That's true. First, here we have the Ghoul showing this massive stockade of weapons here from what used to be the NCR and drops the bar of a lifetime.
He rigged the game.
And just look at that armor. And we cut to Norm and find out that he is just getting his shit rocked on repeat and getting concussed over and over again as we wait to find out what these vault managers are going to do with him. In the meantime, our buddy Chet comes upon a big surprise as he is being a fantastic housewife, as he should. He comes upon Woody's glasses in the garbage disposal, and everybody thinks that Woody is on a leadership mission in Vault 31, and that just might not be the case, folks. But fear not, that matters not to Stephanie Harper, aka Canadian Shaken, so that she could get Hank's keepsake box and whatever might be inside of it, but clearly it's very important. At which point, the blind lady from Deadpool says, I don't want war, I just want peace for these people, and Stephanie's like, you so silly! I just stop. No, that's just pretty much what she does, and it's like, damn, icy, which again, what do you expect from a Canadian? Icy, it's cold. That just sucked. Now, immediately, we cut to the Beastie Boys, bringing hope back to Freeside as Maximus dons the heroic NCR power armor. But get ready, kids, because shit's about to go down. It's time to take back the strip from the Death Claws and get the Ghoul into the Lucky 38 to see old Robert House. Next, we see Lucy and Hank proceed to get dressed for a nice family dinner in what can only be described as the Last Supper. Shortly after eating, Lucy, who is not a fudging idiot by her own declaration, gets kinky with Poppy Hanky and handcuffs him to the stove so she can go ahead and save the world again. Vault Dwellers, man. In the Oh Canada moment, we get to the big wedding between Chet You Betcha and Stephanie, aka their couple name Chefany. If you're cutesy, and oh boy, the surprise on everyone's face when meek and mild Chet says, nah, I ain't marrying her in front of the whole vault. Now, shockingly, this seems to be not enough to rattle anyone, and then Chet proceeds to turn his vows into what can only be described as a Stephanie Harper diss track. We find out that she's not only 200 years old, you never talk about a woman's age, how could you? And she probably killed Woody, which for some reason nobody gave a shit about that, and they're like, you're fine, that's not real, he's fine. And then, at the very end of it, what finally does it, Chet decides to grow some grapes and says, she's Canadian, and shows off the ID. And when he shows off the ID, all conceivable shit begins to hit the fan, and Stephanie decides to turn on the jets and use her 4340 speed in her wedding dress. One-eyed white witch Willie over here decides to sprint into her office. So now we see that it's high time to get the Gooch into Mr. House's, well, house, and Maximus yet again saves the Ghoul and continues to defend against the Death Claws. Now our buddy the Ghoul is about to end up right back where he started, just like always. And while this is going on, it would appear that Maximus's shiny metal ass was thrown through the only thing keeping the Death Claws from massacring the town. Should be fun. Thumbing forward, Cooper's finally about to hand over the cold fusion to the President of the United States, and it looks like everything's gonna be fine. The day's gonna be saved, and they did it! They're gonna save Janie! Wrong-o! You've done good, SpongeBoy me, Bob. Hits him with the, in order to pay off these damages, you two are gonna have to work for me forever! Next, Lucy finally opens up to find out what's behind door number 1, and you guessed it, folks, we all guessed it, it's the floating Futurama head of the Congresswoman that's been trying to help Cooper save the world, and oh boy, does that create more questions than answers. Everything is upside down. Shout out Carl Havoc. Now back at the Lucky 38, the Gooch is putting double A's into Mr. House to bring him back to life Evanescence style. And as the ever-charismatic Robert House greets the ghoul with a lovely, hello, old cum. And that brings us to the end of episode 7.
Well, hello, old chum.